Alright, so it is another awesome spring day. May is here, and today I'm actually taking the hose and I'm rinsing out some new parrot's feather. This is a plant that I put in the alligator snapping turtle pond. It's one of my favorites. Works really good for naturally filtering the water out and making the water a little bit more clear. Also, I love all the little invertebrates that come with having natural plants in your setups. So I'm also going to answer some questions. So I asked you guys to ask me your questions and I would answer them to the best of my ability. And my first question comes from my buddy Turtle Essence on Instagram and YouTube. Follow Turtle Essence. That dude is super tight. He asks, how can one alleviate the gas that makes a turtle's rear end float? My Salvini is experiencing this right now. It's not severe and no problem diving, but it's definitely noticeable. So yeah, the gas thing does come up a lot in turtles that are fed a pellet diet. And what is really happening is, it's not the main ingredients in the pellet that's doing it. It tends to be the binding agent in the pellet. So what holds it together as a pellet, it's usually that filler that's causing some kind of bloating or gas, like a wheat filler or like a flour or a wheat germ or something like that. So it's usually that part of the pellet that's causing that, because in turtles that are eating a natural diet, you don't really see a lot of their rear end floating around out in the wild. So the best thing to do is just give it some time, let it clear out. It should take care of itself on its own. If it doesn't, me personally, I would switch up the diet, see if you can kind of push that on through. Usually it goes away in about a day or so. So hope that answers your question. Hope your turtle's feeling better. I hope it farts. I mean, let's call it what it is. Alright, so I've got some of this parrot's feather. Nice big hunk of this. I'm gonna go over here, add some more of it to this pond because it just looks so friggin' good in there. Let's just add some more. My next question actually comes off of Instagram, and it's from Borja Mirsur. Borja Mirsur? I don't know. This guy. How is your alligator snapping turtles doing in their new pond? They're actually doing really well. They're adjusting well. I did a couple feedings on Instagram at night, kind of went out there and tossed some food in there for them. They ate right away. The male hogged all the food the first night, and then so the second night I came back, and then the female ate plenty. So they took right to it. I mean, they've both kind of picked out their favorite places they like to hang out, and they've really adjusted, really well. So so far it's been really good, and I'm really stoked on that. I just want them to be happy. That's like my #1 goal. So it seems like that's what's going on. Seems like they're happy. I keep looking over here because I'm looking for them. We'll go over here and walk and take a look at it. You can see it behind me. It's right there. That's the pond. So yeah, they're doing good. I'm pretty stoked on it. I do wish I could have gone bigger, but that was the liner that I had. I have a huge yard, so if I had the ability to do a 60-foot pond, I would have. But I also have Aquascape coming to do another pond later in the year, so maybe I'll do something incorporating another alligator snapping turtle pond with that, or I don't know. I kind of like the idea of Aquascape building something and then adding on to it. Like, that kind of seems kind of cool. Like, that occurred to me the other day, and I was like, oh, well, they'll build it, and then after they're done, maybe I'll add on to it. We'll see. All right, this next one comes from Pablo Chapo on YouTube. He actually asked me under one of my posts, can you use any wood for aquarium wood? And that's a good question. You really have to be careful with what wood you use, in that some wood is going to be more durable than other woods. For example, you couldn't just take these like pine stumps that I stuck right here. I stuck these here actually to keep the sulcata from going back in here and destroying my banana. But For example, pine, like if you find a pine tree that fell over and you put that wood in the water, it's just gonna kind of crumble and fall apart. What you really want to find is a good solid piece of driftwood. So driftwood is wood that has been in the water for a long time and kind of been rolled around in the creek and rolled around with the current. And the wood starts to kind of take on a different consistency. Somebody else can explain the science of that. But it really just kind of takes on a different... My mom's calling me. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
So, are you gonna try and get a look at the flyover tomorrow?
The what?
Flyover.
What's that?
Oh, the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds. They are going across the country, flying over hospitals and stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Let me call you back in a second. I'm filming a YouTube video right now.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
You're on camera.
So sorry.
You're good. I'll call you back in a little bit.
All right.
I don't know if I should leave that in or not. Anyway, we were talking about driftwood. Driftwood is wood that has been in the water for a long time, and a lot of times it's been either rolled around on the beach through the sand and the waves, or it's been in a creek and been rolled downstream, run up against stuff, been through sand, been through rocks, and so it takes on a different texture and different appearance, and it's not gonna rot on you. It usually has like a twisted, gnarled look to it. I actually have a good piece I got the other day that's a good example. So I use a lot of driftwood in all my setups. So here's one here. This one is an old piece of driftwood. I've had that piece for probably about 12 years. And it's like the best. Over here's another one. This one's more recent. So these right here. Let's see if we can get the angle. All right, so these right here, these are all pieces of driftwood as well. This one is actually a new one, and it's funny. The turtles are funny. They're like weird about new stuff, so they don't really bask on it. They're like, what is this? So anyway, yeah, this is a new one. But as you can see, it has like a different kind of look to it. It doesn't look like normal wood. And different types of wood will look different ways when they become driftwood. So, to answer your question, get yourself some driftwood. Either try and find it naturally in a creek or a stream or the beach, and only take it if it's legal. And then also I recommend, if you're gonna get it somewhere in nature, boil it or leave it in the sun for a long time before you introduce it into your tank, and that'll help with any potential germs or parasites or microorganisms that might be harmful. I think boiling it is what a lot of the aquarium guys do, so I would recommend that if you have the room. But yeah, you can't go wrong with driftwood. I love what driftwood does for water quality and color. I love the look of tannins. I love a little bit of that brown tint. I just think it looks more natural than clear water. So yeah, hope that answers your question, dude. Sorry my mom called. All right, so let's see. The next one is another YouTube one, and this comes from Ben's channel 2004. Follow that guy. He's all into turtles, and he says top 3 favorite turtles. Well, let's see. My number 1 favorite aquatic turtle has got to be the alligator snapping turtle. That's my favorite since I was a kid. If you were a kid and you were into dinosaurs, like the T-Rex was like the one that got everybody's imagination. For me, as a kid in South Florida, like alligator snapping turtles were like the number 1, like coolest thing, and every common snapping turtle, I just wished that they were alligator snappers. And so yeah, I would read books about them and look at field guides and all that stuff. So they were like always like really cool to me, and so now I get to be able to see them in the wild all the time, and then to get to work with them and educate with them is just, it's, you know, living a dream for me. Number 2 aquatic, I don't know, man, probably river cooters. There's something about like their eyes and like the way they swim and the way they bask, and they're abundant, they're common, and I know they kind of get overlooked, I think, because of that, but they're really unique and they vary from stream to stream. I just really like the river cooters a lot. Number 3 aquatic turtle. It's got to be the loggerhead musk, man. The loggerhead musk and all the American musks. They're just the best turtles. They're small. They're cool. They're really outgoing in captivity. They're really fun to find in the wild, and they're just the best. Top 3 tortoises. I'm gonna have to go with number 1, the black mountain tortoise. And this is stuff that I've worked with, so I can't really speak much to Aldabras or Galapagos. But number 1 for me is gonna be the black mountain tortoise because it is so intelligent, so outgoing. They're cool looking. Again, they're like a dinosaur. They're just the coolest. Number 2, probably the redfoot and yellowfoot tortoises. I really like them a lot. They're really outgoing, really intelligent. They're beautiful. There's different localities, so there's all kinds of variations in them. I really like those, and they make great pets, and I would love to get to go to South America and see them in the wild someday, so hopefully I'll get to do that. Number 3, I'm gonna go with box turtles, and my favorite American box turtle is the Gulf Coast. Somewhere in here is Gulf Coast box turtles. I'm gonna insult a clip of one here. So here's a clip of a Gulf Coast box turtle. Yeah, I love Gulf Coast box turtles. They're cold hardy, they're aquatic, they live on land, they do both, and they're big and just prehistoric, and I don't know, I feel like there's a common theme. I feel like for me, whatever is the most like a dinosaur is my favorite. So yeah, I hope that answers your question, man. Alright, yeah, so I wanted to answer some of your questions. Hopefully that helps. Hopefully you find this informative. Hopefully it was fun. And don't forget to call your mom. Everybody stay safe. And I'll catch you on the next one. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that.